As a great person once said, it's splatting time, and this Splatfest weekend happens to be the best time to do this. There's a lot of unique and exclusive rewards that you can get, and in general, in my opinion, it's one of the most fun times that there is. You know, except from when you're constantly losing. So I wanted to create a sort of checklist of things that you should try to do during this Splatfest, or any Splatfest really, in Splatoon 3. You might already know these tips, you might not, but I feel like it's good to recap it all in one video, as I've made a lot of separate videos about Splatfest tips and such. The comments section can also be your way to share your own more unique tips too. First of all, one of the most important goals this Splatfest will be to try and reach the ruler title. The more you play and the more you win matches during the Splatfest, your title will level up, starting with Fan, going to Fiend, through to Defender, Champion, and finally to Ruler, which you can also go plus of. But getting to that Ruler title itself will be the way to get the maximum amount of Super Sea Snails you could possibly get during a Splatfest. There are other factors, like if your team wins or not, of course, you'll get more based on that, but if you really want to get a lot and maximize this, you're going to need to get to Ruler. Going beyond that doesn't increase how many Super Sea Snails you'll actually get, just saying, but still, a lot of us are going to want to, as we want our team to win. And it's also fun bragging rights, of course. Just in case you don't know what Super Sea Snails do, you can go to merch and use these to re-roll the abilities on your gear, and you can also use them to increase the star power of your gear, giving it more ability slots, which is really useful, especially for the gear you get from Amiibo and such. The Splatfest is the only time that you can get these seemingly, so it's really worth doing. The second goal is one that I have gone over in a recent video, so I'm going to keep it brief. You all know that you can get conch shells during this period of the Splatfest, and you can use them to get free rolls at the shell out machine. It's great, but I really want to reiterate once again in this video that you should use up all of these before the Splatfest ends, or they will disappear. There's literally no benefit to stockpiling these at all, so you definitely don't want to do that. You'll end up completely wasting them if you don't use them all. There are some exclusive unlocks you can get from the shell out machine, so it's definitely worth using these free rolls. So yes, make sure you use them. I'm having a lot of fun doing all of these rolls. You probably also know that you can scrub the Splatfest t-shirt for really cheap, a tip that a lot of people have mentioned. This can be a great way to grind ability chunks if you want more of those. But something interesting that I've seen a lot of people point out in the comments of recent videos is that you can actually change the main gear ability on this for cheap. And if you want to change the ability again and again, you can even get all of those ability chunks back. The gear doubler ability isn't the best honestly, so getting a gear that you feel comfortable with on this Splatfest t-shirt could really help give you a little bit of an advantage. Maybe if you're really low on ability chunks, this might not be the best tip for you, but if you've got a ton of them at this point, then I don't see what the harm could be. Just remember that whatever abilities are left on this by the end of the Splatfest, you will lose them. So make sure you scrub it before Splatfest ends, and also check that that main ability isn't something that you'd really miss those 6 chunks of. Just as a little bonus tip, there are some other things that you can unlock during a Splatfest as well. For example, I got this badge for hitting the ruler rank during the last Splatfest. So if you're a completionist and you want to get everything, really spending as much time as you can in the game during the Splatfest is really worth it. As I said in the comment section down below, I'd love to know what tips you have for Splatfest. It doesn't necessarily have to be a checklist of things to do, but maybe ways that players could improve and perform the best for their team. If you made it to the end, be sure to comment Splat Gang down below so I know you did. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on channel notifications for more. I'm trying to get to 20k subscribers before the end of the year, so if you subscribed, I'd really appreciate it.